Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a comment, and please think about subscribing. And hey, remember, watching just 30 seconds of an ad helps us creators more than you know. You're awesome. Have an amazing day. Let's begin.
I'm in love with my mom's husband. My youngest child is his. My mother doesn't know. Their anniversary is coming up, and I'm determined to expose everything at the party. Throwaway account for obvious reasons, and no, I'm not looking for judgment. Just needed to get this out somewhere. I, 29F, have been in a secret relationship with my mother's husband, 48M, Melvin, for almost 7 years. We started sleeping together when I was 22 and living in their basement after a bad breakup. My mother, 53F, was gone on another contract, she's a traveling nurse, and Melvin, well, he was there. It started as a mistake. Or at least that's how I justified it. One night he invited me to the living room to watch a movie with him. I wasn't doing anything, so I figured why not? We were just hanging out, laughing, and doing a little drinking. We got to talking about our lousy relationships. He told me my mother hadn't touched him in months. I told him I felt invisible since my breakup. He told me that he could see me. He then gave me a long lingering look that made me melt. Before I knew what was happening, we were kissing. I remember that kiss vividly. It was desperate, messy, soaked in guilt, and how quickly it spiraled into something neither of us could undo. Except, I didn't want to undo it. Not really. A few months after the kiss, things got even more complicated. It was summer. My kids were asleep upstairs in their guest room. I had just gotten out of the shower and was folding laundry in my room when I heard a soft knock on the basement door. I opened it and there he was, shirtless, drunk, smiling. I brought you a drink, Melvin said, holding out a glass of whiskey. Figured you could use one after the day you had. He was right, I'd been out job hunting and the results were abysmal. The jobs I was qualified for didn't pay enough to live, and the jobs that did pay enough I wasn't qualified for. I wasn't sure what my next step should be. We sat on the edge of my bed. We talked, he gave me words of encouragement, and he cracked jokes to make me laugh. His hand brushed mine once, then again. The electricity was undeniable. That night, we crossed the forbidden line. And hands down, it was the best I ever had. The next morning, reality hit me hard. I panicked. But oddly, Melvin didn't. He simply kissed my forehead, made me coffee, and left $100 bill on the counter for diapers. And that's how our affair really started. Over the next few months, he became the father my kids didn't have. He'd take them to school, feed them, make sure they were safe, and play games with them. He provided me with groceries, gas money, he even bought me a used car when mine broke down. He told me I deserved better. That I was beautiful. That if he'd met me first, everything would be different. When I got pregnant with his child, I cried on the floor of my bathroom. I sat there for hours trying to figure out my next move. This was too real. I was on the pill, I thought we were careful. Melvin found me sometime in the evening. He sat beside me on the floor and started rubbing my back. Once I had calmed down, he told me that everything was going to be okay and that, maybe this is our second chance. I leaned into him, enjoying his scent and warmth. For the first time in a long time, I felt completely at ease. He was right, this was not a problem. Everything was going to be perfect. About 8 months later, my mother was gone again, this time in Arizona. Melvin threw me a small baby shower at a local park. Just a few of my friends, balloons, and cupcakes. It was a great time. No one there knew he was technically my stepfather. Everyone just thought he was my older boyfriend. All my friends were incredibly happy for me. I had finally caught a good one, they said. After the party concluded and people started to leave, Melvin pulled me aside and handed me a gift box. Inside was a tiny onesie that said, "Daddy's girl." I teared up immediately. He grabbed my hand, kissed me, and said, "She's mine, you know that, right? And so are you." It was a perfect day. After the baby was born, he decided it was time I needed my own place. Also, I think he was getting nervous about my mother catching us. He moved me into a townhouse 2 neighborhoods away and kept paying for everything. I played housewife. I raised our kids, and I waited for him to leave my mother. Years went by. Every year, he said he would leave her. Every time, he backed out. He'd cry, say she'd fall apart, say it would ruin too many lives. Every time he crawled back into her bed, I died a little more inside. I hated her more than I ever had growing up. Not just because of our past, which was rough, but because she had my man. She had everything that I wanted. My mother and I had never been best friends. Growing up, she'd always treated me like an afterthought or a burden. She had a really bad addiction problem during my childhood, and she was a very violent addict. But it wasn't just the physical pain I had to endure. Many times, I was left to fend for myself while she was out doing who knows what. By the age of 10, my arms were riddled with burn scars from years of trying to make dinner when no one ever taught me how. The times I did have food were a blessing though, because many times she didn't bother getting groceries and I would just starve until school the next day. Summer breaks were hell. My clothes were always worn and too small. I was bullied mercilessly at school for my appearance. Then there were her boyfriends. Let's just say they weren't very kind to me. Things changed dramatically my junior year of high school. She started being home more, cleaned herself up, started going to church, got a steady job, and began taking courses to become a nurse. I have no clue what caused the change, but I didn't care. It was too late. My feelings for her didn't change. She started making more of an effort to bond with me, but I was aloof. I was just biding my time before I could get out of her house. I got pregnant at 18 and married my son's father. I was so ecstatic. This was my chance to finally be rid of her, but as you may have guessed, things didn't exactly go as planned. But all in all, I think things eventually worked out perfectly because I met Melvin and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me. Now if he would just leave her, my life would be complete. About a year ago, we slipped up. My mom came home from a contract 3 days early. The kids were with a friend of mine, and I was spending the night at their place. We didn't know she was back until she walked into the kitchen that morning. I had sent Melvin for some lattes, and she saw him coming in the front door with the coffee and 2 cups. I heard their interaction from upstairs. She asked him why he had 2 cups. He panicked and said he just felt like getting 2 kinds. I stayed upstairs, holding my breath. Eventually she said she'd be right back. She had to pick up paperwork from her agency, then she left. Later on, he told me that he could tell she didn't believe him, but she didn't press. I laughed. That thrill? That panic? That danger? I lived for it. Melvin hated it. I was really getting tired of sneaking around. I was sick of not being able to kiss him in public. Or pretending my daughter doesn't look exactly like him. I told him once again I wanted the truth out. I wanted us. He said, not yet. Not until the time is right. No. That day, something snapped in me. Maybe it was the news that my mom wanted them to move away to Florida where she heard about a permanent nursing job, or maybe I had finally had enough of being a secret. All I know is that I was officially done with this game. Our relationship was going public, and I thought I had the perfect way to accomplish it. You see, a few months ago, I was organizing old digital files on my laptop, clearing space, deleting nonsense. And there it was, a folder labeled September 19th. Inside was a very interesting video. We were drunk. Laughing. Melvin was holding the phone. You could hear and see us. There was no mistaking who we were or what we were doing. I don't think he remembers recording it, but I had. I backed it up to 2 cloud accounts and a flash drive. I thought it would be fun to bring out one day, but now I was going to use it for other purposes. I knew then, if he wouldn't leave her willingly, I'd force his hand. My mother had invited me to their anniversary party the coming week. It was their 10th. All I could think when I got the invitation was, perfect. I showed up with the flash drive tucked into my purse and a fake smile painted across my face. I wore a white dress. Tight, elegant. The kind of dress that says look at me. Melvin avoided me all night. I think he could feel it coming. Maybe he saw it in my eyes. After a few minutes of talking with family and stuffing my face, my mother approached me and asked if I was ready. I smiled and said of course. I had told her the night before to rent a projector because I had made a slideshow about her and Melvin's relationship. She thought it was a great idea and thanked me for such a sweet gesture. I asked my uncle to dim the lights, and I walked over to plug in the drive and the slideshow began. The screen played a soft piano melody while photos of their wedding, family vacations, and old family moments flickered by. People awed. My mother wiped tears. Then suddenly came the cut. The screen went completely black. That's when our video started. Our bodies mingling. My voice screaming Melvin's name. The wedding ring flashing under the soft bedroom light. Gasps and screams rang out around me. A glass shattered. Someone shouted, "What the hell?" My mother turned white as a ghost. Melvin rushed to the outlet and ripped the plug from the wall. Next, he threw the projector to the floor. The whole room turned silent except the sound of my mother crying. Melvin turned to me, his face red with fury and embarrassment. He opened his mouth to say something, then looked around at all the eyes on him. He closed his mouth and stormed out. All at once, my family exploded in ire. Insults and "how could you do that?" flew at me from all sides. I knew this would happen and I was prepared for it. I held my head up, gathered my things, and left right after. On my way home, I tried to call Melvin, but it went straight to voicemail over and over. The aftermath was devastating. I thought he'd come to me. I thought he'd finally choose me. Instead, he ghosted me. 2 days after the party, he sent me a long message. It read, "The mess you made, it's irreversible. I can't believe you would expose me like that. You didn't just hurt your mother, you humiliated me in front of everyone I know. You destroyed lives. You destroyed my life. I lost everything. Do you think this is love? What you did was spiteful, vindictive, and childish. I need time. Don't contact me." I sat there shaking. Reading that over and over again. I had imagined all kinds of outcomes, but this? Abandonment? Shame? That wasn't in the script. I thought he would finally see the light. I thought we'd be together, raise our daughter openly, start a new life somewhere far away from the wreckage. Instead, he vanished. My mother hasn't spoken to me since. My whole family abandoned me. My own cousins told me I wasn't welcome at family gatherings anymore. My uncle told me I had traumatized everyone, and my aunt said I should get help. Even my best friend, who knew some of what was going on, said I went too far. She said, "You wanted revenge, not love. Don't kid yourself." Maybe they're right. I don't know what I wanted anymore. Maybe it was revenge. Maybe it was desperation. Maybe it was love twisted by too many lies and too much waiting. All I know is I haven't heard from Melvin since that message. It's been 4 weeks. I sent one last photo, of our daughter asleep with her blanket, clutching the little stuffed bear he bought her when she was born. No caption. Just the image. He left me on red. Now it's just me and my kids. Again. Trying to scrape together rent, money for food, anything. And here's the thing that hurts the most. I still love him. I still wake up some nights hoping it was all a dream, that he's beside me, brushing the hair from my face. But I also know this, I may have burned everything down, but at least I stepped out of the shadows. I don't regret exposing the truth. Because love should never be something you have to hide. Even if it destroys you. Final update. It's been a few months since everything fell apart. Since I lost Melvin, my family, my reputation, my safety net. Since I ended up at a women's shelter with nothing but a stroller, a diaper bag, and a pit in my stomach I can't shake. But I'm trying. I really am. I got 2 jobs now, one at a diner downtown and another cleaning office buildings at night. It's exhausting. Most nights I collapse into bed fully clothed, legs aching, neck stiff, and my soul feeling blank. But I do it because I have to. My kids are in a government-funded daycare during the day. I cried the first time I dropped them off. Not because I didn't trust the staff, but because it hit me how far we'd fallen. How alone I really am. I haven't heard from my mom since that night. I tried calling her once when I had a fever and couldn't find anyone to watch the kids. Straight to voicemail. Still blocked. I learned while snooping on social media that Mom divorced Melvin and moved to Florida a few weeks ago. She didn't even say goodbye. It's just me now. I thought Melvin had vanished for good. But a week ago, I got a message from him. Short, cold, distant. I need to focus on rebuilding what you destroyed. I can't be involved with you anymore. But I will begin paying child support, per legal guidelines. Do not contact me again. That was it. No apology. No ownership. Not even a sliver of care. Just what you destroyed. As if I forced him into the affair. As if I seduced him out of a happy marriage. As if he wasn't the one who promised me everything, whispered sweet nothings, held my babies in his arms like they were the center of his world. Now I'm left trying to pick up the pieces alone. And worst of all? I think I finally believe them. Maybe I really did deserve this. Maybe I was just a phase, a dirty secret, a stupid girl chasing fairy tales. Maybe I destroyed my own life. Some nights I sit in the bathroom after the kids are asleep and just stare at the floor. Not crying. Not feeling. Just there. Is this my punishment? Is this what I earned? I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself. But I have to keep going. For them. For the 3 little faces that still look at me like I'm everything, even though I feel like nothing. We will get through this, and I vow to be a better person and mother in the future.